Welcome to a THIKI Quickie review, and I'm just going to tell you my top 5 books of 2024. I didn't read a lot of books this year, but this past year, but these are the 5 that when I did read them, they really stuck out and they made a lasting impression on me. These are in no specific order, but these are the top 5 that stuck out to me in my 2025. And these are in no particular order, but these are the ones, these are just the ones I liked. First off, we have Golden Sun. This is book 2 in the Red Rising trilogy, or at least starting trilogy. And man, this book got some crack in it. You know, like the first book was already really good, but then getting to the second book that was in a different format and had some different character arcs, but still brought about the same amount of joy, I guess you could say, and suspense and tension and action. Very much action packed. It was just great. Rarely do second books actually become the best book in the series, but I finished the whole trilogy this past year, and this is the one that stood out to me the most. Morningstar was still pretty good. Red Rising was also pretty good, but this second book towers above both of them, and that's rare for a series to do. So I give this one big kudos. It lasts a long time in my mind. Next up, The Blade itself. This series is one that I've heard so much about in the grim dark fantasy genre, and I finally picked it up this year, and I will say it did not disappoint. This is one that, like, when you want me to explain the plot, I can't really do that for you, but I can explain the characters and how they made me feel and how they feel about the things going on in their world, because the way it's written, it's so character driven rather than plot driven that it allows you to enjoy the book no matter what is going on in this world. And I'm excited to keep going. I have the other books, but I haven't started reading them yet, but I'm very excited for this one. This one, it took a while for me to get through, but when I finally did, I was like, I should have read this sooner, because it was just a great time. Action packed, dark characters, morally gray characters that you don't really know whether to vouch for or not, but that's what makes it so good. Next up, we have The Empire of Silence by Christopher Rocuccio. This book was very similar to another book I read called The Name of the Wind, and it's the format of this first book, and it's one that I really do enjoy. I really enjoy this type of format because it's almost like you're questioning whether the narrator is valid and isn't giving you the wrong information or seeing things just the way they did. And it's fun to read. His story is very unique. There's some things that you're like, oh, I did not expect this to happen, and it just takes you on this journey, and it was very fun read. I'm excited to go into the next books and see how this world expands and opens up, and how he plays a role in this universe, and how he becomes who he says he is, the Sun Eater, at the beginning of the first book. But it's a great one. Last but not the least, Brandon Sanderson's Wind and Truth. This book we've been waiting for a little bit. I only read Rhythm of War, I think it actually was last year, 2024. I don't think I finished it till like early or mid 2024, if not late 2023, but we were waiting for this one, and patiently waiting, so because we know Brandon always provides, and this book did provide a good conclusion to this era. We have to wait for era 2 to really see how good this series is, but for the most part, this book rounds off this era so well, closes some characters' stories, opens some new questions, opens some new possibilities, not just for the Stormlight Archives, but for the Cosmere as a whole. And yeah, it's one that keeps my expectations going, but I came to fall in love with some characters I didn't expect to fall in love with in this book, and I know a lot of people say the same thing. So this book did it for me last year. And yeah, those are my 5 favorite books of 2024 that I read in 2024. Let me know what yours were in the comments, and I'll see you next time. THIKI out.